On today's Live Daily News, the Tom Green County Sheriff's Office snags 2 drug dealers, what to do this weekend, and an update on the weather as severe storms hit part of the Concho Valley. Plus, the Cover 1 crew brings on head coach of the Wall Hawks football team, Houston Guy, during their tour across the Concho Valley. All this plus more. I'm Yantis Green, and this is Live. But before we get to the news, situated downtown on the Concho River, the recently remodeled Suburban Suites provides an upscale location for your next business trip. Going to need a long-term stay? Look no further than the Suburban Suites. You will find completely renovated suites that make you feel like home. Plus, it's the only hotel just steps away from the McNeese Convention Center. For business or pleasure, choose the upgraded Suburban Suites. And now on to the news. We start the show today with some big news coming out of the Tom Green County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Nick Hanna and the crew have made 2 significant arrests. 31-year-old Juan Romero and 40-year-old Quentin Chaos Collins were apprehended Thursday for several crimes, including drug dealing, stealing cars, and evading arrest. Sheriff's deputies and a San Angelo Police Department K-9 unit discovered a substantial amount of illegal narcotics. Romero and Collins now face several felony charges and are in jail with bonds over $100,000. Moving into things to do this weekend, we start off with that big dog party at the dog park over in College Hills. This Saturday, Concho Valley Paws is hosting Pawsapalooza. This event will aim to find loving homes for dogs in the shelter. If you go, expect free adoptions, playgroups, vendors, microchipping, food trucks, and more. Plus, you can bring your own dog from home. The Pawsapalooza will be from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Saturday at the San Angelo Dog Park. That's at 3215 Millbrook Drive at the corner of Millbrook and College Hills. And if dogs aren't your thing, then head down to the Concho River downtown for Free Fishing Day. In San Angelo, the Texas Parks and Wildlife Inland Fisheries has stocked channel catfish in the Concho River downtown. To celebrate the day, the Parks and Wildlife Department is hosting its annual Youth Fishing Derby from 7:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Anyone under 18 can join, but if you're over 18, you can still cast a line in the river. And this evening, there is some severe weather moving in. Currently, there are multiple counties in the western part of the Concho Valley under a tornado watch. Those include Sterling, Crockett, Reagan, and Erie County. More counties in the southern part of the Concho Valley, like Sutton, could be put under that watch depending on the way the storms are moving. At around 3 o'clock this afternoon, the tornado that is on your screen was spotted in Pecos County, and that tornado brings along a large line of thunderstorms that's developing out west. In Tom Green, we could see some of that rain after roughly 8 o'clock tonight, but that tornadic storm should stay to the south. Now, there is a line of thunderstorms out to the west that will affect the Abilene area and the Big Country. We'll just have to see if that develops and moves into the San Angelo and Tom Green County areas as the evening progresses. So stay logged into San Angelo Live for all weekend long for weather updates. And finally, the Wall Hawks won Game 1 in the matchup between Wall and Brock. Ryan Chadrick was there and has more on that in a second. But first, here's a word from Jim Bass Ford.
We know you're looking for a truck. And of course, you're looking for a great deal. We've got the trucks and we've got the deals. Get a brand new 2023 Ford F-150 STX 4x4, just $475 per month. Right now, you can choose from several different colors, and you can only find these at Jim Bass Ford, Houston Hart at Arden Road, or 24/7 at jimbassford.com.
The high school baseball regional finals are officially underway, and last night the Wall Hawks and Brock Eagles battled it out in Game 1 at Abilene Christian University. In what has become a habit in the 2023 playoffs, a 2.5-hour lightning delay pushed the matchup originally scheduled at 7 p.m. all the way to 9:30. Wall showed that they've dealt with this hindrance all postseason and still started strong. Freshman pitcher Kellen Oliver put out a stellar performance for the Hawks when he pitched a complete game, allowing only 2 runs. Offensively, Wall stayed aggressive early in the game and kept on Brock. Every time the Eagles scored, Wall had an answer. The Hawks went up 6-2 in the 5th inning and never looked back. Wall won Game 1 and head into Game 2 today at 4 p.m. in Abilene. We will continue to provide coverage for this playoff series, so be sure to tune in to sanangelalive.com/sports after the game for highlights, interviews, and a write-up on all the action.
Cleaning has never been more essential, and our health has never been more precious. Yet with rising costs, we are having to make hard choices when it comes to buying essentials. Carpet Tech wants to help you maintain a clean and healthy home and afford other essentials like fuel and groceries. So we're giving away a $250 prepaid gift card every week. Anyone who books any Carpet Tech cleaning appointment is entered to win. Even in this economy, we hope an extra $250 will make a difference.
And welcome back to the show. Today we have a very special guest. Of course, today is Friday, so it's Cover 1 Football Friday. So from here until the end of football season, you're going to be seeing a lot of us on Fridays, especially when we want to talk about football. So today we are going to bring in our first guest head coach of this new deal we're doing. And, of course, we want to bring on head coach of the Wall Hawks, head coach Houston Guy. Coach Guy, how's it going? How's your little break been from school?
It's been good. We've started our football camp with our young kids. It's just, moving right along. We started yesterday, and the temperatures haven't been too bad. The participation's been great, so no complaints.
The temperature, I guess, that's one thing. It's hit 100 degrees yet. I want to bring on the other two guys, of course, on the show. We got Ryan Chadwick and, of course, our other guy here, James Bellini.
How's it going?
Guys, football season, we still got a little bit of time left. But what are some things that you want to talk to Coach Guy about when we're talking maybe catching up from last season, or if we're talking about moving forward into this next season?
I mostly just want to talk about moving forward to next season. There's no point in dwelling on it, right, at this point.
Right,
but
yeah.
It is super exciting to see some of these guys in other sports. Of course, the Wall baseball team is just going off right now, and one of their best players is your quarterback, Coach. So Gunnar Dillard is just kind of going off for the Wall Hawks in baseball right now, and it's nice to see that he's going to be working towards getting bigger and better for the football team. But
yeah, he's having a fantastic season. He plays hind catcher for them. He's doing a solid job behind the plate. He's one of those kids. It's a consummate leader. He's going to play. And give you the best he's got. Every time he steps on the field. It doesn't matter if it's football, whether it's baseball. I enjoy watching him play. He's going to give you everything he's got, and we like to see him have success in everything he does, and it's exciting to watch him out there. And not just him. We've got quite a few football/baseball players that are out
Will
there.
Share, Nathan Pepper,
yeah. There's a whole handful of them out there. So they're playing really good right now. They got a hot streak going, and so we're rooting like heck for them with their game against Brock.
Could win a state champion, or could go to another state championship. Of course, it wasn't that long ago when you guys won a state championship in baseball. So
correct, yeah.
James, what about you? Let's get you in here. Ask Coach Guy something that you've been kind of curious about moving into next season.
I'm excited too. Like moving forward from last year, we all know y'all had a really good run in the playoffs, and you got up against Canadian, and they kind of took it to you. And you lost some seniors, but you maintained a lot of your team, though. A lot of your players were underclassmen, and a lot of them really showed out this year. Who's one guy, and don't say Hagen Bar because we all know who he is. Who's one guy on that team who you really expect to take that next step and step up?
We alluded to Gunnar Dillard. Gunnar played quarterback for us. We expect him. He was one of those kids that came in as a sophomore, and we put a lot of pressure on. He probably didn't get real comfortable in his role as quarterback until probably week 11, when you started to think that looks like an option quarterback, and he really started to shine. And I think he's going to shine week 1 for us this year. That's one of those things where coming in as a sophomore and running what we run. and taking, as many hits in a game as he takes, it's a lot of pressure for a young kid, and so being as young as we were offensively, having as many young skilled kids as we have, I think all those guys growing up is going to be huge. We're going to have weapons that none of our weapons graduate. From our wide receivers, we've got Ryan Allen coming back. We've got Luke Kemp, we've got Hagan Barbie, we've got Nathan Pepper. All these guys that have been putting up huge numbers. All those guys are coming back, which will help Gunner in the backfield too to take some of that pressure off.
Right now, I remember when we had you in here for the All Cover One program we did, and you brought up Dillard, how he took it very seriously, and how he'd come into your classroom at lunch and work on things, and so it's good that he's embracing this role. And
yes, no doubt. Yeah, he'll be one of those kids that start from week one. I think will put that take the weight and put it on his shoulders and take off, and I think you'll see him shine very early.
So there's another young guy on the team, Coach, that we've highlighted on the Cover One All-Star team. He was our Defensive Player of the Year. He's a sophomore. He's going to be a junior next year. Brylan White, of course. In football nowadays, it seems like the two most important positions is your quarterback and your edge rusher, your end rusher, your best defensive player. So let's talk about Brylan White. How was his offseason? Did you see constant improvement in him? And I guess he was still kind of a young kid last year, so. We've seen him grow it up a little bit.
Yeah, Brylan is one of those kids. He's even young for his class. So I gripe at his dad all the time about how he probably should have held him back one more year, because he's going to be an animal for us. He's one of those kids that lives in the weight room, stays in the weight room constantly. Every time you check the video cameras to make sure that nothing inappropriate or wrong is taking place in there, he's usually in there. And so we've got a lot of high expectations for Brylan. He's one of those kids that's put on about 15 pounds in the off season. He's gotten a lot quicker coming off the ball. We think that he'll be, a bigger menace to the offensive line that he's going to be seeing this next season. And again, that side of the ball is very young. Also, you've got the Dylan Gidney on the other side that just makes the two defensive end positions nightmare positions to have to block edgewise for those offensive tackles that we're gonna see. So defensively, we're going to be extremely fast and extremely talented again. They'll still be, fairly young. They're going to still start quite a few underclassmen. They'll still start, probably 5 or 6 seniors, but a lot of speed on the field defensively for us this year. So I think we'll be faster than we've been in the past. Maybe the fastest team we've had on the field, and so it'll be exciting to watch that team run.
Well, we definitely saw that during the track season. You guys had a tremendous track year, and that kind of reflects on your program there, I guess, as a whole.
Yeah, it's going to. I think it's just going to carry over. Coach Slaughter does a great job with our track team, and you saw them how they progressed, and you saw it kind of build itself as the season progressed. We had kids coming out from baseball that typically hadn't run for us before. For example, Dylan Gidney came out and ran the quarter and the mile relay for us, and so we had kids coming out of other sports that were anxious to get to run on some of those relays, because some of those leaders that we had on that track team were just kind of infectious and kind of built that track team up, and people wanted to be a part of it, which was a very, very neat situation for a coaching staff to kind of see those kids kind of bring that excitement to that sport.
I'm glad you brought up Coach Slaughter there, because a few years back y'all played Bushland at Snyder. Mm-hmm. You played Bushland at Snyder, and I think that whole defense graduated that year or left. You didn't have any starters returning.
Correct.
I think you had 3 starters on the whole team returning. They were all on offense.
Right.
And last year, I think y'all allowed like 8.5 points a game.
Right.
I mean, just kind of talk about how Craig Slaughter has come in, and he's been there for, I think, 6 years now?
Yes, this will be. I think this will be his. I think he's been there 5. This will be his 6th one coming up. Okay. Yeah, just the excitement and the knowledge he brings defensively. He's got his kids well prepared every week. He's one of those coaches that when he comes into the coaching staff every Saturday morning or Sunday when we do work, he's always well prepared. And then when he shows up on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, his kids, you can tell that they're absorbing what he's what he's teaching, and then on Friday it just translates onto the field. And so as you see his teams play, they play with a lot of speed because they're not confused. They're playing with a lot of confidence, and so you see them play fast. And I think that's one of the biggest things that he does for our team is, he brings that confidence of, hey, we know what we're doing, one, and we're gonna play with a lot of confidence because we know where everybody's gonna be, and no one's gonna lose an assignment, bust an assignment, and everybody's gonna be taking care of their own job, and so it allows them to play really, really fast. And so I think you'll see them. Defensively, you'll see them play even faster this year. They're going to change some things up defensively, some schemes, and they're going to try to put more speed on the field than we've had in the past, which will be, I think, really exciting to watch.
And Coach, of course, like with all this prep work and all this like stuff that y'all are doing in the off season right now, you've taken a look at your schedule already. Is there a particular game that you have circled that you're like, oh, this is going to be a good one?
I think the Cisco game will be a good one. I think the Jim Ned game should be a really good one. That's the first one. You never know. Peaster's getting a new head football coach. Mm-hmm. They're coming out of a district that's perennially going to be a very tough district to get out of. They'll always be a very tough a football team, I think. They'll have a lot of talent out there, so that could be a good one. I think Jim Ned is the one on our schedule that you kind of circle that you kind of you'd like to win. You can kind of put a circle around it and say, hey, that's the one that we need to cut. We know we want to be hyped up for. That's the one that you do not want to lose that one, just because it's such a good rivalry right now. And so, and they'll be in our district here before too long as we move back up, or when we move back up into a bigger classification again. Eventually, they'll be back in our district.
I think you got robbed on a touchdown in the last game.
I would agree with you. I think so too. I think we got robbed on that first touchdown. So.
Well, a little bit of a chance for a comeback. Okay, so here in Cover 1, we always end things with final thoughts. So I'll go around and let everybody ask their final questions. I'll start with mine. Coach Guy, Wall is known for having large individuals, big old hogs, right? They're used to, So I want to talk about those boys. Give me some of the names of who's going to be some of these starting offensive line this year, and who's the leader of the line, and really, I guess, just the man who makes things happen and moves people around.
We've got two returning offensive linemen. We've got a kid by the name of Lee Brake, who's, if you say large individual, he's probably one of our biggest kids, and he's about 6'3", 6'4", and about 240. And he's one of those kids that's going to anchor our offensive line. He was our right tackle this year. We're going to move him down inside and be he's going to play our right guard position. And then a kid by the name of Pritz is going to be our left tackle. We're going to probably move him to our right tackle spot. He finished the season at left tackle. Very good offensive lineman, and he's not as big as Lee has been in the past. He's more of a slender more of a runner type kid. Probably could play a tight end in a lot of positions in a lot of schools, but he's one of those kids. He's an excellent blocker. He's intelligent. He's going to fire off the ball. He's going to be really aggressive. And then we've got 3 open spots. We've got 3 spots that we're filling with kids that have not. We graduated 3 offensive linemen last year that had started for us for 2 years in a row. So those 3 spots are totally open. We've got a lot of bodies that could fill in for those spots, but we're not, none of them are really a shoe-in yet. And so we're going to let those guys fight it out in those first few weeks and kind of see who takes ownership of the center position is one, at a guard position, and there's another one. And then a tackle position is another one. So those 3 positions are going to be big for us to fill pretty quick. And we got a lot of bodies that have a chance. A lot of it's going to depend on this off season and the summertime, who puts the work in the summertime, and how their summer progresses. And those kids, they take a lot of pride in their work ethic. We'll see who comes in the best shape that they can and with the most aggressive attitude to earn those spots.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it in the trenches down there. Let them do it themselves, because they're going to beat everybody up this whole season. So see who can win the battle early and move on from there. So
that's right.
James, your final question?
Coach, you've been out at Wall for 18 years now. That's a long. Some of them kids who were born have been raised nothing but this system. But what has coaching out at Wall taught you about yourself?
It's one of those things that you learn a lot about how to handle people, learning how to handle kids. We've got a great community that's, they've at times I feel like they've raised me. When I got there as a young pup, back in, I'll say this, it's kind of embarrassing, but when I got back there in '96, I was single and young, and I'd have probably starved to death if they hadn't have stopped by my house and fed me and taken care of me. And some of those old timers that brought me food when they didn't have to. And so it's one of those communities that I owe so much to. They've been very rewarding and allowing me to coach their kids, and I can't say enough. I probably get real emotional talking about it. So,
well, I know one way you can repay them, give them a couple state championships.
It would be awesome. It sure would. Yeah.
All right, Chadwick, what you got?
And I'll follow James right there. So, of course, that Canadian game isn't exactly how we wanted it to go at the end, especially the way it went out. Like, what does Wall have to do to take that next step?
Yeah, you would end with the Canadian question, wouldn't you?
I had to,
yeah,
Coach.
So,
I was there.
Yeah, it was. So the Canadian game, that was an eye opener for us. We when we got into that game, we knew that there was going to be some mismatches. They had offensive linemen that averaged about 275 across the front. They were very big up front, and they were a lot more physical than we thought they would be up front. They handled us defensively, our defensive linemen, a lot better than we thought they would. They're going to graduate most of those offensive linemen. One, we got to get a little bit better pressure on their quarterback, and I think Coach Slaughter's addressing that with some of the speed he's going to put on the field. Two, we got to keep their offense off the field. We got to do a better job of not turning that ball over. We've got to make sure we keep their offense off the field by, consistently putting drives together where we put points on the board. And whether it be through the air with a little bit better passing game or on the ground with a little bit more dynamic run game. We've got to find a way to get their offense off the field a little bit more consistently. And that's one thing that we're going to really work on in the preseason and in the district, and work on some things to see if we can't make it just a little bit more challenging for them to defend us.
Well, Coach, I guarantee you, us at the Cover One team, we're rooting for you. We know that the Wallhawks are a big deal here around, so we want to wish you guys the best of luck moving in, and we want to thank you so much for coming on the show today. You were the first coach. We're going to be having coaches until the end of the thing, but you were our Cover One Coach of the Year last year, so we said, hey, we got to bring Coach Guy in first.
Got to start with him.
Yeah, got to start with him.
You're
I
not
appreciate you. I
honest,
appreciate you guys having me. You guys are always a classy bunch of guys. When you guys come out, you guys have been fantastic from the time y'all started. And so hats off to you guys and the job y'all do, the job that y'all do covering our kids and not just our kids, the kids around the community. We were talking earlier before we got on air about the Cover One promotional stuff that y'all have done for the area kids and the Concho Valley kids, and we as coaches can't say enough about what y'all do, and so we appreciate that for us.
Well, we love football, and that really just ends up helping it all in the end.
Right.
It's not work when you love what you're doing. I'm sure you're the last person that we have to tell that.
That is true.
Thank you, Coach.
That's true. Thank you, guys.
All right, so now this has been Coach Guy and the Cover One team of Matt Trammell, Ryan Chadwick, and James Bellini. Until next time, we will see you guys. When it comes to unique pieces you can't find anywhere else, Concho's Diamonds and Coins is your one-stop shop. With over 24 years in the diamond and coin industry, Concho's Diamonds and Coins is West Texas's choice for diamonds, jewelry, coins, silver, and gold. Owner Bill Concho stands by his work and offers free consultations, including estate jewelry. Don't just trust anyone with your valuables. Come see the staff at Concho's at 1016 West Beauregard in San Angelo.
And that's it for news, weather, and sports. Again, some severe weather in the Concho Valley Friday night heading into Saturday morning. Good chance of rain over the next several days. We'll keep on top of the weather for you. Until later, for San Angelo Live, I'm Yantis Green.